however, is our next story.
This is our next story. Now, Salt Bay has left the internet quite outraged after charging his customers $218 for 4 Red Bull cans. Now, this is not in Dubai, although his restaurant here is quite pricey as well. Now, the high-end restaurants can get away with charging their customers exuberant amounts after factoring in costs of location, services, experience, premium ingredients, manpower, presentation, and all that jazz. But sometimes restaurants go overboard, and that's when the internet intercepts and gives them a quick reality check like, girl, no. So the Dubai-based Turkish restaurant...
Well, the internet says, girl, no. That's what the internet says.
I mean, that's a sugar-coated way, but they're
Cancelled.
not that sweet. No, cancelled. I hate that cancel culture.
That's horrific. Anyway.
The Turkish restaurateur Nusret, aka Salt Bay, frequently makes headlines for his OTT butchery style, but has recently drawn the ire of charging his customers at the Nusret Steakhouse in the upmarket King's Knightsbridge, West London, over 218 dirhams, which is 44 pounds for 4 Red Bull cans. Now, a customer, he shared his bill that mounted up to a whopping sum of 9,017 dirhams, which is over 1,000 pounds. And the internet was outraged. Now, 54 dirhams for 1 can of Red Bull. And clearly, society is too woke to be flexing on such expenditures these days.
As you know, Salt Bay is our favorite salt sprinkler. He got cult status back when his meme went viral. Gotta do it. Racking up millions and millions of views, spawned millions of memes and GIFs, and his likeness has been recreated across the world. Footballers do it, models do it, people come from all over the world to eat at his restaurants. So not only Red Bull, the tourist butcher also hiked up the price of Diet Cokes, whereas it's up to what, £9, where it's barely pounds in the supermarket. One Twitter user said, y'all confuse overpaying with luxury. Another said, I do not care how good it is. If you're spending £630 on a steak and £9 on a Coke, you do not deserve money.
Well, I mean, yeah, and then we shared this on our social media platforms, and the comments are, of course, as any other news you put out there, mixed. And people are just like, this is outrageous. Restaurateurs shouldn't be authorized to be hiking their prices so much. And then some are like, you see the menu, you see the prices next to you before you order, so you're completely aware of what you're ordering, the price of it. Then why would you go ahead and order it? Like, you can change your restaurant, you cannot order certain items, so it's completely up to the person who is ordering. And some are like, it might be up to the person who's ordering, but why even like subject your customers when they're coming for your experience to pay such a high amount? So it's very mixed.
I have two thoughts on this. The first one, we always hear about like overcharging, and like, this is a London restaurant, by the way, but we always hear about overcharging in Dubai. Like, why is this place charging X for water? Why is this place charging X for a Coke, right?
Yeah.
But I actually, one day I was doing a takeover. I was down in, I won't say the mall. I was down in a mall and I was chatting to the owner of the restaurant, and then we got chatting to the owners of a cafe nearby, and we actually had like an hour-long chat about the costs that they incur. And they were raging because like, it's been such a tough year. Look, they're not Salt Bay's restaurant, but it's in general, they have so many costs and overheads, and potentially they're not putting people on furlough. They kept on their staff, and like, to put this water on the table, sometimes people forget the overheads, the staff, the service, the ambience, the music, everything that goes into it. That's one part. Obviously, this is Salt Bay's restaurant. If you're going, we talk about best cities in the world. London is one of the best cities in the world. Knightsbridge, by the way, as a location, is the fanciest location in London. Salt Bay is Nusret is a steakhouse, by the way. They're expensive restaurants. He is a fine dining chef, and he is the most famous Instagram chef in the world. If you're going to be paying that much money for Red Bull, people know that's how much it costs. Like, if people are shocked by the cost of the Red Bull in that like quartet, it's obvious. I'm just saying, like, it's not surprising that it's £9 for a Red Bull in Knightsbridge in London, Salt Bay's restaurant. Like, you're literally going to pay. Like, I have never eaten at a Salt Bay restaurant. If I get a free meal, I'll go 100%. But you are going for the visual spectacle that he may be there. It's just opened. People are going to have this happen at their table and to take their photos. We see it all the time in Dubai. I love the fuss around it. I love the virality that he creates. I love the fact that he has this thing, he does cappuccino and people want to do it.
Yeah.
But you're paying to do it, so expect it.
Yeah.
I'm done. Sorry. I don't know where that came from.
That's been building up.
Just go.
I think you've had a hard morning. A hard week, Casey.
Oh, that came from the heart.
Was that too much?
I am shaking right now.
Sorry.
Yeah, guys, you heard that. You know what you're going in for, okay? I'm kind of scared to say I would never pay that much for a can of Red Bull.
Of course you would, neither would I.
Moving away. Okay.
But however, if I go to one of the most expensive cities in the world, in a fine dining steak restaurant with the most Instagram chef, I expect the prices to be very high.
But see, you gave a scenario where you went to a restaurant and they're not doing well, the pandemic hit and
There was
everything.
2 points there, but yeah.
Yeah, and then with Nusret, he is a viral sensation and his restaurant has been doing well. It's been doing well since the pandemic.
Incredibly well, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just always, it's been on an uphill kind of scale for him for a long time. So if he has, I mean, if restaurants have the liberty to make it easier on their customers and kind of price it at, okay, high-end pricing is fine, but not hiking it up. I would imagine that restaurants should do that for their customers and those who are dying to come and try their food, who have been just, because, you know, people, foodies, they really dream of going to these viral restaurants and trying the food and seeing what the hype is all about. Like with CZ and Barak, there was this one person who was dreaming and like just messaging him so much, like, okay, I want to come try it, I want to come try it. And he was even messaging us in our DMs, if you can fly me down. I just, all my biggest dream is to try CZ and Barak.
Oh my days.
So people have that, you know, anticipation for these restaurateurs. So if it should be at a level where people can afford, you know, like even if you're not loaded or filthy rich, like you should be able to, okay, at least a can of Red Bull shouldn't be come up to 54 dirhams.
But that fantastic point. But I love it. But that's like, wouldn't you wish that like whatever, let's say car or fashion or makeup brand, you're like, wouldn't you wish they made it affordable so I could actually afford it? But maybe that's the intent. Maybe it's like it's out of the price range. I don't know. But in terms of marketing genius and viral, and the fact that he's been able to open up in Dubai, I think Miami, in Turkey, like he's done whatever he's doing is working because people are happy to go.
I mean, paying that much for the food, for the dish itself, okay. Red Bull and Coke, personally, I'm not in line with Casey for this. I'm scared to say that.
Yeah, someone's saying, oh my god, all cheap people collected here. Come on, guys, the price for 8 people and that price is pretty affordable. So that's coming from someone saying, just purchase the entertainer.
Keep in mind.
Simran saying, Simran, go on a date there.
Keep in mind that also,
Sorry, thanks for the comment.
There's also taxes involved when you buy Red Bull, for example, in the UK. It's like it's expensive on its own anyway.
No, it's not.
I think he's making a lot of money. Like it's just a money game.
It's 60 pence.